Hello, and welcome to this course on Newsfeed advertising. In this course, we're going to cover how to drive targeted traffic from Facebook with native ads. This course is divided into 3 modules. Module 1 covers marketing objectives. Module 2 covers audience, ad placement, and budgets. And Module 3 covers creating the actual ad itself. By the time this course is over, you'll know how to effectively create and launch Facebook ad campaigns for your business. So without further ado, let's dive into the first module. Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will be teaching you about the various marketing objectives and how to choose the best ones for your business. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Alright, welcome to Module 1, where we'll be going over ad objectives. First thing you'll want to do is come up to Business Manager, All Tools, and Ads Manager. Next, we'll click on the Create button. This will bring us to the Marketing Objective. Now, a lot of people like to just dive in here because they're excited about getting their ad campaign running, and they go with traffic, because traffic sounds like it has broad application. However, that's a huge mistake. You really need to sit down, think about your marketing objectives and goals, and choose the correct marketing objective before moving forward with your ad campaign. Let's go through some of the more common ones. Brand awareness is basically about getting your product or your service, or your brand identity more specifically, in front of as many people as possible within your niche or your desired audience. Reach, on the other hand, is similar, but it's not going for a certain type of people or type of demographic. So reach would be primarily for products with broad appeal. If you're starting, for example, a vacuum cleaner company or a bottled water company, that applies to everyone, and so reach might be a smart decision in that case. However, if you're selling industrial copiers or fax machines or something like that, obviously your desired audience is a little more unique, and so you'll want to go with brand awareness. The next objective category is consideration. The first of these is traffic. This is probably the most common one that people think of. Driving traffic from Facebook over to your web properties, whether it be a lead page, a sales page, your website, or some content. Now, there's a few different types of consideration besides traffic that a lot of people don't think about too often. Engagement is designed to get exactly that, engagement. Likes, follows, shares on your actual Facebook content. App installs, if you're in the mobile app industry, is also an option underneath the consideration category. Video views for video content. If your business is video content heavy or video content centric, or if you have viral content that you're hoping is going to increase the reach of your brand, then video views is a good objective to choose. Lead generation. This actually allows you to create lead capture Facebook ads, Facebook lead ads within the newsfeed that don't even require people to leave Facebook. And this is a very powerful, relatively new tool. Messages are another awesome approach, and probably the newest big trend in Facebook marketing in recent months. With these, you can actually get conversations started with prospects and potential customers inside of Facebook Messenger and actually leverage Facebook Messenger as a marketing and sales platform. Next, there's conversion. This category is probably what you want to look into if you're really looking for bottom line revenue generation, sales, if you're doing conversion rate optimization, if you're driving traffic through funnels and you're trying to create a self-liquidating offer, that type of thing. Conversions are different from just general traffic because you're driving specific types of actions inside of your web properties or across multiple pages of web properties, and Facebook will actually tweak and affect your ad performance based on these goals, and with the help of conversion tracking, which is also provided by Facebook. Next, there's catalog sales. Now, these ads will automatically show items from your e-commerce store. So if you have a Shopify store or a WooCommerce store or something like that, you can actually have your target audience see your ads for specific products from your store with minimal manual work on your part. This is a great opportunity if you're running an e-commerce store and you want to drive leads and potential sales from Facebook. And finally, there's store visits, which basically means foot traffic. not digital, but foot traffic, trying to get Facebook users who are somewhere local to you to come into your actual place of business. So there's a lot of excellent marketing objectives here. Facebook has done an excellent job over the last few years of tweaking the way that it lays out its marketing objectives and adapting its ads to your objectives to help you get the best performance and the best results for every dollar you spend on your Facebook advertising campaigns. So to keep things as broad as possible, we're going to go with traffic for this example. We'll make our campaign name Traffic01. We'll hit continue, and we'll move on to targeting in the next module.
Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will be covering audience targeting, ad placement, and budgeting. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, welcome to Module 2, where we're going to be going over traffic, placement, and budget. So prior to getting to this point, obviously you will need to have done some market or audience research. You need to have an avatar of the ideal customer or prospect that you want to go after with your Facebook ads. So for this example, let's say we are creating a new sports drink, and we want to get our new sports drink in front of people in the fitness niche. For locations, you can get very creative here. If we wanted to, we could just leave it broadly at the United States, but let's go ahead and go with one specific city. Once you choose a city, you can actually go with a radius around that city. Now, for our purposes, let's just say we're trying to sell our sports drink to anyone in the United States, so we'll choose the United States as a whole. Now, I haven't studied up on the fitness niche, but let's say that we did, and that our research indicated that ages 21 to 44 were the most active buyers of sports drinks within our audience. Next, gender, we could choose one of these. We'll set it to all. Languages, not really a factor here, but if you wanted to, you could choose specific languages. And then for detailed targeting, we can actually dive even deeper and make sure we're hitting the right people. Let's just type in the word fitness and see what happens. So Facebook is already giving us a whole lot of suggested interests, behaviors, and even employers and job titles that we can choose here. Fitness consultants might be interested in our sports drink, so we could choose that. Physical fitness as a general interest has a huge following, 311 million. That might actually be a little too broad. So let's go with men's fitness, a little bit more narrow. And while we're at it, let's see what we get with women's fitness. In this case, as you can see, we have behaviors and interests to choose from. We can actually go with women's fashion and apparel buyers, women's apparel, women's fitness plans, but the real golden nugget in this list of suggested targeting is going to be Women's Health and Fitness magazine. Women who have been identified by Facebook as having interest in this magazine are a very powerful market to go after for a fitness product. It's not just someone who at some point in the past liked a page that had something to do with fitness. This is a specific brand, an actual magazine that exists, and we can imagine that the people who are listed by Facebook as being interested in it might even be subscribers to the magazine, or at least dedicated followers on social media. So let's say that we're good with this set of targeting right here. Let's say we want to narrow it even further. Let's say 3,500,000 is a little too big of a reach for us on our first ad run, for whatever reason. Let's go to narrow, and we'll type in another interest. Let's try gym and fitness clubs. Now, when we chose that, our audience shrunk to 150,000 people. And that's because Facebook uses AND logic instead of OR logic between these two boxes here. We're narrowing. So in this case, anybody who wants to be in our audience must be a part of this audience and any of these three, rather than this one or this one or this one or this one. That's what narrowing does. It's very powerful. In this case, we actually narrowed our audience a little bit too much. So we can click X to remove that and logic, and we'll proceed forward with our 3.5 million people potential reach. Moving on to placements. It's becoming more and more recommended to choose automatic placements because Facebook, as a platform, is very smart. It knows what's going to get you the best results most of the time. If you wanted to come in here and manually choose your placements, let's say you have an actual practical reason for only wanting people on mobile, or only wanting your ad to show up in the newsfeed instead of the sidebar, or only wanting your ad on Instagram, you could certainly come through here and mark each of these. You might have a reason for this having to do with your audience research. Perhaps you learned that the most active purchasers of sports drinks make their purchases on mobile phones. Now, that doesn't sound very likely, but just as an example, you might have a good reason for doing this. However, for starters, you might want to let Facebook do the heavy lifting here and go with automatic placements. And after you've run your first 1 or 2 campaigns, then you can look back and see which placements performed best, and then start manually choosing those in the future. In this case, you're taking the risk out and letting Facebook do all the hard work on your first couple of campaigns, and you can use that data later on to make your ads perform even more efficiently. So let's move on to budget. Now, budget is an incredibly important factor of your campaign to get right because it will significantly affect the performance of your campaign. Now, the first decision to make is daily versus lifetime. If you were to go with a lifetime budget, you'd basically be setting a max amount to be spent during a specific period of time for your ad campaign. If you're going with an evergreen approach, meaning your offer isn't going to expire or you're not working with a hard launch period, daily budget might be best. And basically you'll be deciding how much you want to spend per week in this case. Now, let's move to run my ad set continuously starting today. You'll see in this case, you'll spend no more than $140 per week, but the daily amount will vary. Facebook will simply make sure that the average across each week is approximately $20. But you might spend a little more than that or a little less than that per day. If you choose a start and end date, however, Facebook will automatically calculate the total amount that you will have spent by the end of that ad campaign. So again, it comes down to whether you're working with a hard launch or an expiring offer, or an actual evergreen offer that doesn't expire. Next up, let's talk about optimization for the ad delivery. This is very cool and very important. Facebook has recently wised up to the fact that a lot of clicks that people pay for don't actually turn into real website views. So let's read through this really quick just so we understand. Facebook allows you to optimize now for landing page views to find more people in your target audience who will click on your ad, and listen to this, and wait for the landing page to load. Facebook is actually tracking, with the help of conversion pixels and so on, the performance and the behavior of people after they click from Facebook and go off to the millions and millions of landing pages out there. And they know, with their algorithms and with their data, what type of people are more likely to click on a landing page that's relevant to them and wait for it to load, and what type of people are more likely to click once and instantly bounce because they're not willing to wait for the page to load, which is a surprisingly large amount of people. So let's say we're going for clicks to landing pages instead of just general broad clicks. Now, other options here would have been impressions, which basically you're just paying for how many people are going to actually see your ad in their newsfeed or pop up in their sidebar and so on. Or daily unique reach, which basically sets a maximum for people to see your ads once per day. Now, we'll stick with landing page views for the purpose of this example. Bid amount. So this should be left to automatic, especially if you're new to Facebook ads. You're letting Facebook do the heavy lifting once again, just as we are with placements, and they will figure out what the most optimum bid strategy is. Don't worry about choosing this and thinking that Facebook is going to rip you off and make you pay more than you should be for your ads. Facebook knows that the better performance and better bang you get for your buck, the more likely you will be to continue giving them more money. So they will make sure that your ads work as good as possible. Now, if you wanted to go the manual route, you'd actually have to choose your bid amount and set it per landing page view. Again, that's an actual view, not just a click. If you've been doing this for a while and you know your numbers really well, let's say you've got a sales funnel in place, a lead generation and a sales funnel, and you've already calculated the lifetime value of every customer and the potential value of each lead, and you've got an idea of how much you're willing to spend per landing page view in order to acquire a lead, and know full well that you'll break even or come out with a profit based on a certain bid amount, well then go ahead by all means and go with manual. However, if you don't have all of that data already set up, if you haven't done all the math already, and if you're new to Facebook ads, highly recommend you go with automatic and let Facebook do all of that mathematical and algorithmic heavy lifting for you. Now with the landing page views optimization option, we will get charged for impressions, and that is set as the default. However, if you were to choose a different option, you'd see a more options link here, and you'd be able to choose things like certain actions, such as clicking a link, or if this was a Facebook lead ad we were setting up, it would be for every time someone actually enters their email address and becomes a lead. Now, we don't have ad scheduling chosen here because we have our daily budget set. If we had set this to lifetime budget, then we'd be able to manipulate our actual ad scheduling. Delivery type, it's set to standard right now, which means show your ads throughout the day on your selected schedule. However, if we wanted to, we could go with the accelerated option if we had manual bids going on, and that means the emphasis is put on the speed at which your ads are shown to as many people as possible. So that covers this module. We went over traffic targeting, ad placements, and budget and schedule. Now we're going to move on to creating our actual ad creative.